Dr. Brotherton, we are live. Are you ready to kick this thing off?
I'm so ready. Let's go.
Let's do it.
KTTV, giving you what you need. Motivation, education unleashed. H-Town representing, we forever keep it rolling. Join the conversation with inspirational stories. Thought-provoking, feel that energy. Kendrick Thomas aiming to lift the community. True indeed, tune in, come and see. Giving you what you need. KTTV, let's go. KTTV.
What it do, KTTV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of Education Unleashed. And on tonight's episode, I have, probably the coolest principal from a town of 1,000 people that you would ever meet, Dr. Brandi Brotherton. How you doing tonight, Dr. B?
Hey, good. Doing great. Glad to be here. Try to inspire some people this evening. Thank you for having me.
Look, it is my pleasure. The schedule is going. We talked a little bit in the pregame about, you had to kind of get down to support and be there for the family. So always in this go world as we handle things, thank you for taking some time out, because we know that's that one thing we never get back, right? So I appreciate you in the midst of everything.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So welcome tonight to the guests as we tune in, or either as you're catching this by replay. Tonight we go through our segments. So I have something very special in our Outstanding Educator Spotlight. Also, Parent Teacher Corner, we'll talk a little bit about study habits. Remember, I try to go through a list. And so in that segment, Dr. B, is pretty much all about what value, right, can we provide to that parent. And so I usually get a few topics, a few tips, and then I always like for you to chime in, especially from your area of expertise. Yes, and so that's pretty much it. And of course, we got to get you in the rapid fire after we get through with our precious interview. So I'm looking forward to a fun show tonight, Dr. B. What about you?
Same. Looking for a fun show where we can learn and grow together and just be a part of this community that's so important to our students and to their lives outside of A-Leaf ISD.
Hey, I'm with you on that one, because it is real out here, and you got to be prepared for life.
Absolutely.
All right, so before we jump into the meat of things, I always like to kind of look at the current trends, the current news. And so what I pulled together for us tonight was all my educators out there. I don't even know which one. Let me see here. That would be a fairy sound. That's not what I'm looking for. Which one is it gonna be right here? Look, student loans are coming back. It's time to pay. The time is over. And so I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that tonight, because I don't know if you had loans, Dr. B, but I did. Right. And so what I did was I told all my friends they got the teacher forgiveness. Teacher, what it was, a service, something, public service.
Public service forgiveness loan, yes.
I told everybody, I said, y'all, make sure, get your applications done, get everything done.
Yeah.
They was playing. So I got mine done.
Good.
And so now they wiped it off. And then after that, the country started turning on the whole situation. And so tonight, I just want to just kind of drop a little bit of knowledge on people. And so for the first time in 3 years, like I said, we got to start making these payments. And of course, the reason I wanted to highlight this the most was because I know that people's lives are already hard. And so with this coming back on, oh my God, right? I know some people, you $1,200, $1,400 a month, and that's just student loans.
Right.
And they're going to get their money regardless. So what I want to tell everybody is there are two plans. One, they have where you can do the on-ramp period. And so this is basically a 1-year grace period. When you skip monthly payments, your credit takes a hit and is sent to collection agencies. But from now until September 30th, 2024, you will not take a hit on your credit and your loans won't be sent to collection. Now, interest will still accrue, but that will be worst part of it, as far as when you think about hitting your credit and everything that happens when you're trying to get houses and all that stuff. Next is the save plan. And so income-based repayment. Do you know anybody that did that?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, depending upon how much you make, that's for some people the best option for a lower payment.
Yeah, that's what they said. It can take you down to zero. So these plans are available. So either way, I just wanted people to be able to kind of get a little bit of knowledge before we get kicked in, because I know, once again, it is already tight. We don't do this for the money. And so then we got to make sure that we're cutting those corners any way we can as educators. So any final words as we close that out?
I just think that we need to be smart in what we do and initially even taking the loan, students, because if you do things right, you can avoid all of that together. But when we do take loans, we need to be smart in the type of loan we take and the amount we take. So just keep that in mind as we move forward.
Look, if somebody would have told me that when they was on there with the credit cards and your free t-shirt, oh my God. That's how they get you. Okay, what we're going to do, Dr. B, is we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we are going to get into our conversation about tonight, right? And I want to know about 8-Leaf Early College. Like, we got to get some ins and outs because people just don't know how it's going down in there. So, all right, y'all, we'll be right back. Make sure while we gone, y'all, look up them loans, kind of get that tight. We'll be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the
All right, welcome back to the Education Unleashed Talk Show. Dr. B.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So now, just jumping into our conversation tonight, once again, getting to talk about the work that we do, being able to inspire, being able to really inform people is what this is all about. So as we get into this, and we get to pick your brain, we want to say, so Dr. B, for the people that don't know, have not seen the Twitter, LinkedIn, anything of that nature, can you give us a little bit of background on you and your current role in education?
Absolutely. So my name is Brandi Brotherton, and I am the current principal at 8-Leaf Early College High School. This is my 7th year as principal at 8-Leaf Early College High School. Prior to that, I worked for 13 years at 8-Leaf Elsick High School, began as a teacher and as a basketball and track cross-country coach. I was the head girls cross-country coach and assistant basketball and track coach, and then moved out of that realm, which I never thought I would. All I really ever wanted to do was coach basketball, but God had other plans, and I moved into be the advanced academic coordinator at Elsick High School, to an AP for 3 years at Elsick High School, to the associate principal of instruction at Elsick High School, and then, of course, into my current role. And so whenever I think about just my journey, I don't think of it as my job, but this is a piece of my life. It's a piece of my heart, a piece of my family's heart and life. And this is what we do. This is our life's mission. This is our calling. This is God's work through us. And we believe with every fiber of our being. And when I say we, I don't just mean me, I mean my family, that we are doing everything in our power every single day to show kids that there is a different way and there is a right way, and we're going to do the right things every day that are going to ultimately lead to success.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And as you do this, now, when you say family, is it your home family teachers?
My home family, yes. My husband.
You came from a long line? Oh,
no,
okay. You're like, okay.
No,
oh, okay. Your husband for
my
sure.
immediate family. So,
oh, yes, most definitely.
My husband is the head girls basketball coach at Hastings High School in Alief.
Okay. Yeah.
My daughter, my life, I send her to Hearn Elementary every single morning right
Hey.
up the street. And
Yes.
I believe in the work that we do. And so when I say my family, I'm talking about my immediate family, and
Yeah.
not only my immediate family, but my campus family as well.
Most definitely. I mean, hey, and you know, we definitely gonna talk about that because I see y'all be grooving over there a little bit, doing a little something.
A little bit.
That's cool, Dr. B. Well, like you say, it's so important that we are pushing that narrative. And so, man, how is that just being in the house? I guess it's the gift and the curse, right? Because when you off, he off. When you at work, he at work. So,
Yeah,
but it makes it good for vacation time.
it does. And, we actually coached together at Elsick High School for 3 years, same coaching staff. We took the Elsick girls to the state tournament in Austin, back when it was in Austin in 2011 together. And so I think whenever you understand that this is your life's work and it's really bigger than you, that work just flows. It just flows and it goes, and it's worth it in the end.
Most definitely. Now with with you when you say Elsick, it makes me think about my lovely principal. Shout out to shout out to Principal Don Lewis. Shout out to Don. Getting it in. Elsick. Look, when I tell you, she be over there in her red shirts, but I still feel that bleed for that blue a little bit. I be kind of looking at a little side eye over there. Yeah, that's all good then. And so now talking about your school, so I want to put this in context, right? When you think about the traditional high school, and then you think about your community, Alief Early College, can you kind of give us a little bit of the difference and what makes your school unique to kind of put these questions in context?
Absolutely. So at Elsick High School, that is a comprehensive high school. There are approximately 4,000 students that attend Elsick High School every day, with over 200 teachers, 260 staff members. And they offer sports, they offer band, the performing arts, a lot of the fine arts. And it is what is known as a comprehensive high school because it does encompass all of those aspects. Moving from there to Alief Early College High School, and early colleges by design in general, we have a population of just over 400 students and just under 40 staff members. And so we're talking significantly different just population size. And then to top it off, completely different ideas around what students graduate with. We don't have sports. We do have a few performing arts. However, it's very limited. And then our students at Alief Early College High School, they are taking college classes concurrently with their high school classes. And so they're getting their high school and college credits at the same time, and they are graduating with their associate degrees. So they're taking approximately 60 to 80 hours with them when they leave and then enter the university.
But that's a lot. Yeah, but isn't that awesome? I don't know if we had things like that coming up,
Right.
but now being able to get a hold of that, come out with your associates or however you make that happen is so awesome. But now thinking about the leadership that it takes to run that not comprehensive, I'm sorry, to run that campus successfully. How has your leadership impacted your school's success?
So when I think about leadership at the early college, in the early college setting, I'm going to be honest, it's no different than being a leader anywhere, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And really, honestly, people are not looking for a perfect leader. They're looking for an authentic leader. And so when they can see and feel your authenticity, they will then respond to you in a certain way, right? And so when we think about what are leadership qualities, what qualities do you need to lead? It doesn't matter if you're at a comprehensive high school. It doesn't matter if you're at an early college high school. It doesn't matter if you're at an alternative school. What matters is that you have these specific qualities that others are drawn to and that they're willing to work for.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And so I know you said authenticity. Now, is there any other characteristics that you would say will make up a good leader for even like the early college?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that leaders have to have a high EQ. They have to have a high IQ, right? You have to be smart to be able to lead
Please.
anybody.
Yes.
However, the EQ is just as important. And for those who aren't sure of exactly what that is, that's your emotional intelligence. That's your self-awareness. That's your ability to connect and empathize with others. And your EQ is where the relationships are built. And if you don't have that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But when you have that emotional intelligence, then you can move into this creation of your vision and what you want your campus to be, what you want the outcomes to be. And then finally, you have to be able to adapt and change. And that is so hard for people. But when you have the people's heart, they'll do anything for you. And then that adaptability becomes much easier.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Like you say, just as with learning, what you say, people don't learn from people they don't like. And the same goes for being a leader.
Absolutely.
Right? Yes, most
Absolutely.
definitely. Now, in the context of that, I think about your students and they are, man, I'm going to get associates. I got into the early college. I'm thinking self-sufficient. So one of the big challenges is, I just had Director Terry on. So we're talking about family engagement. So in your community, how do you engage parents in their process to enhance student achievement?
So I want to just preface this with saying that I think there's a big misconception about the type of students that we have at early college in general. So prior to 2017, there were some standards that could be set around how students were admitted. But we are currently guided by a blueprint from TEA. And that blueprint says that we have to have an open lottery, which means that any student that applies can be drawn in that lottery, and it can be weighted in certain aspects. So we have to, in a lot of ways, mirror the district's economically disadvantaged population, which we have the highest eco-dis pop outside of ALC at my campus. And then we have to mirror their at-risk population within the district. So about 75 to 80% of our kids are at risk, and most are first-generation college goers. They would not go to college if it were not for ALEAF Early College High School. And so that's really our target population. And so when we talk about the community and how do we engage parents, I'm going to start with parents first. Parents, we encourage them from day one to take an active role in their students, not just education, but in their life. Because when kids are in elementary and even middle school, the parents are there. The parents are present. But for some reason, when they get to high school, there's this sense that the kids have it and they don't. They don't have it. And they need our parents more than ever. And so we make parent meetings, parent visitations mandatory. Parents have to visit our campus mandatory twice a semester. And they have to sign a contract whenever they say they're coming to school at ALEAF Early that they're going to be an active participant in their kids' education and life. And we try to really create that environment where they want to come. They want to be there and they feel welcome when they step foot in the door. So that's the parent piece of it. With regards to the community, to whom much is given, much is expected. And we tell our kids that all the time, and we tell our parents that. So our students are big in the community. You will see them out doing community service. So our students have to have 20 hours of community service everyone, 9 through 12, every year. 20 hours of community service in ALEAF in the first semester, 20 hours of community service in ALEAF second semester, and many of them go far beyond that. because we want to give back to the community that so freely pours into us every single day and gives us so much support in being able to even have this opportunity.
Yeah, most definitely. And look, tell me something I don't know. Thank you. Because I did not know about the community service part, right? That is very powerful. But most definitely on making the mandatory meetings. I think sometimes when you don't mandate things like that, you may not see them like the entire school year, and so unless you do a call or something. So I think that is awesome. And like you say, just understanding the type of student, that is a big misconception. But look, so it's real. And you the only administrator.
I am the only administrator, and we don't look at discipline, we don't look at attendance, we don't look at
Yeah.
test scores, we don't look at grades. And so sometimes we're
Yeah.
like, oh my, hold on. But
Yeah.
the idea is that our kids can do it. They can
Yeah.
do this work. It's all a mindset. And once they start to shift that mindset and have a little bit of belief in themselves, because I tell them all the time, I can believe in you all day. Your parents can believe in you all day, but until you believe in you, this is going to be the same outcome. So we're going to start to help you believe in yourself, and then they soar once they start to believe in themselves.
And when you're looking at building a community, right? I've seen you doing the social media, especially the dances. The dances are awesome. But just being able to create that culture. So how do you believe the presence of things like the TikToks, like the videos, affect the culture in the school in terms of, like, I guess, student engagement, morale, and everything?
So one thing I want to be very clear about, and I feel like this is so backwards so often when people are trying to build culture, is that the videos and the TikToks and the dances and the fun, they don't create the culture. They are a result of the culture that has previously been created.
Hold up, stop right there. Hold up. Oh, I agree. Okay, sorry, but I had to go and get that in right there.
I think that so often as leaders, we think, oh, if we do this dance, or if we feed the people, or if we give them a bag, then okay, they're going to want to come to work. That's backwards. You've got to want to come to work in order for those things to then be effective, right? And so I think it's important that as we think about what our community looks like, that they know that we're going to walk the walk, we're going to talk the talk, we're going to have standards that are for everyone. And if you are not willing to be a part of that standard, then you can't be in this space with us, because we're creating our narrative every day at Alief Early College High School. And we want you to be a part of this narrative and a part of this culture. But if you're not willing to live the standard, then you can't be. And so whenever we create the TikToks, those are fun for us, right? And one of my teachers, actually, after we do one at the beginning of the year with all of our teachers, he walked by and he said, Dr. B, I wouldn't do that TikTok for anybody else. And that is empowering to me, because it tells me I'm doing something right, not in the TikTok every day, right? And so really just trying through what we put out on social media, the videos, if those videos touch one person, then we've done our job, then I've done my job. And I have to be the standard of what I want for everyone else, whether it's teachers, students, parents. It all starts with the leader. And so all of those videos, all of the TikToks, all of the fun, that is a result of the culture that we have built.
Most definitely. And so I know that you talked about the community service, right? And the parent mandatory piece. Has there been any other specific initiatives or strategies that you use to kind of create that culture through you or parents?
Well, I think that whenever we talk about creating our culture and fostering our relationship with parents, the students are the primary source of that connection. Because when our kids go home and tell their parents, man, I love school, I want to be in this place. Now the parent says, hang on, let me go check out this place that you love. Why do you always want to be in this place? And then that brings them into our space. And we have the opportunity then to get whatever the message is that we need out and across to our parents at that point.
You know, when you said that, it sounds so funny, but it was so many times I have parents come and say, "Oh, you Mr. Thomas." All at home, all he do is talk about Thomas. I say, yeah, right. But that just lets you know that's that connection. So then they got to come up. Let me see who this guy is. Then, you know, right. So most definitely, yeah, I love it, Doc. I love it. And so now, as we look at getting ready to switch gears, because I want to get into the student leadership piece. But thinking about advice, what would you give to educators or school leaders overseeing early college, high schools, and they want to initiate that change or that positivity into their culture?
So any school, again, yes, it can be an early college, but definitely I would say any school that you're in, you have to create a plan. You have to have a vision. This goes back to effective leadership. And then you cannot stay stagnant in that plan. You have to move. And we say all the time, or I say all the time, ideas are easy. Implementation is hard, but it is possible, right? But you have to move. And whenever I talk and think about just leadership and building your culture, and we tell our teachers this and we tell our students this, and almost everything we tell our teachers, we tell our students as well, because they are the leaders in the building. They drive what we do, and they have some high expectations on them. And we tell them there are 4 levels of people in this world. There are low level of people. Low level of people sit around and talk about people. The next level, those people, they sit around and they talk about events, what's going on. Then there's high level people, and high level people talk about ideas, what they want to do. And that's where this whole notion of ideas are easy comes in. It's easy to talk about what we want to do and what we're going to do. But then there are big time people, and big time people are who you need on your team, both adults and students with regards to leadership. And big time people, they talk about how they're going to execute the ideas and what that actually looks like. So what I would say is this: you've got to get some big time people on your team, and then you have to keep them. The retention of those people is key, because that's where the foundation, the structure is laid for you to be able to sustain what you build. And when there is no retention, there is no sustaining. So I think those are the key factors in creating and sustaining a positive culture through leadership.
Nuggets. If I could turn this microphone and just drop it, we'll end everything right here. But that was nothing but a wonderful segue into us talking about students leadership. So what we'll do, let's take a quick break. Then we'll come back and we will get into a little bit of what that student leadership looks like in your world. Be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the
Look, I always play the commercials because every week I tell y'all we sell stuff on kttv.com. So if you have not picked up some merch, picked up the book, picked up the workbook, make sure to get over to kttv.com and support the movement. We out here informing people, getting it in. All right, so back with my guest, Dr. Brotherton, principal, A-Leaf Early College. 7 years, that was fast, right?
It was. Time flies.
Man, I remember seeing you in the AP meetings when it was going down, man.
No.
Now you've been getting it. Look, 7 years. Once again, though, the students are getting old. We are not.
That's
All
right.
right. So jumping into a little bit of student leadership. I guess the biggest thing is providing examples. So what does student leadership look like? Can you give me some examples of how that impacts your school community, and even how it impacts student achievement on your campus?
Absolutely. So whenever we think about student achievement in any realm, we always bounce back to this idea of leadership and how we prepare students to be successful academically and as people, because we're in this business to ensure that they leave Alief Early College High School prepared to make it in this world. We want to have academic scholars, absolutely, but we want to make sure that they have the skills necessary to make it in this world. And so all of that ties back to student leadership. And so when our kids step foot in our building their freshman year, we have a mentor program that really begins to build the blocks of leadership and what that looks like. We have an AVID program that every single one of our students takes part in from 9th through 12th grade. It is not optional. And through that AVID program, we really begin to explain and work and practice being a leader. And we expect our students to be leaders in everything that they do. We tell them there's a way you're going to walk because leaders walk differently. There's a way you're going to talk because leaders speak differently. There's a way you're going to dress because leaders dress differently and they carry themselves differently. And so what does that actually look like? And whenever we think about student leadership and students being successful, we begin to have conversations with them about what taking ownership for your actions every day looks like. Ownership in your academics, ownership in your data in the classroom, ownership in your behavior, ownership in everything that we do. And so we have an executive student leadership council. And this year, we have actually been going through executive leadership training with this group of about 50 kids. It is the president and vice president, captain and co-captain of every club and organization in our school. That's a part of the Executive Student Leadership Council. And we actually have hired in a leadership coach. His name is Kyle Green. He comes in every 9 weeks and works specifically with that group of students on what student leadership looks like. We practice having conversations that leaders will have and would have, and we actually are able to model for them what being a leader is and what it looks like. And so the crazy thing is we've also taken that leadership coaching approach to our staff because we can always grow. And while my staff is phenomenal, we are not satisfied. And I tell them almost every week at PLC, none of this is free. It can be gone tomorrow if we mess up. And we only have one chance with our kids to help them be successful and to help them grow as young men and young women who will go out into this world and be leaders. And so I really feel like all of those factors culminated together help us to create these leaders that we have at Alief Early College High School.
Man, that is it. That's so impactful, man. Y'all, you got to have, man. Look, all right. See, Miss Jones, she said, I admire your leadership. Keep shining and blazing that phenomenal trail. All right, shout out, Miss Jones.
Yes.
I had another person, Miss Johnson. Shout out to Miss Johnson. I said, Miss Johnson, you gonna tune in? She said, of course. You were her AP. And so she was talking about that. She said, but she works over at ALC now. I'll say, okay, there we go then. All
Awesome.
right, well, that's good. So now, I guess you gave them to us, but what other strategies or practices that you put in place to nurture besides the coaching? Is there anything the coaching sounds enough, but have you put in anything else on top of the coaching for student leaders?
Well, I think that whenever you think about what do you put in, right? Like, are
Hmm.
there programs, or we
Hmm.
do Character Strong through our Avid classes, where we
Mm,
really try to tap into school-wide SEL student um,
yeah.
emotional learning, right?
Hmm.
How are you doing? What is your mental health, and are you
Yeah.
able to even do this work? Is your mind right? So we do use the Character Strong program. But one thing that I just believe is so key in building any culture, in building any leader, whether it's an adult or a student, is
Yeah.
you have to love people. And
Yeah.
leaders sometimes have a difficult time with that concept of love because of the way that we've used it in context throughout the years. I have no problem using it. And I have no problem telling our parents on day one, I am going to love your kids like you love your kids. And so I need you to be okay with that. And it's crazy because if you were to walk onto our campus, you will hear me flat out. You will hear our teachers flat out. All right, bye, Kelsey. Love you. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Love you, Dr. B. And they're on their way, right? And
Yeah.
and with that love comes high expectations, comes
Yeah.
accountability, and
Mhm.
kids and adults alike, they want accountability and they want expectations. And with
Yeah.
love, accountability, and expectations, that's where that leadership capacity is formed for them to then be empowered to take that same system and use it in whatever realm that they are in.
Mhm. And have you thinking about also the balance, right? I know you said a little bit about the SEL. Thinking about I'm taking college classes. I'm still a teenager. I got a lot going. Do you all do anything that's intentional for helping them build that balance?
We do. So we say that at our school, we are going to bust our tails Monday through Thursday academically.
Yeah.
On Friday, we are not going to think about academics. So
Mhm.
we, on Friday, after lunch, we have club and organization time where
Mhm.
every single student in our school is required to attend and be connected to at least one club or organization. And they cannot go to a book and study during our club and organization time from 11 to 1:30 because we have early release on Fridays. They cannot go and do a tutorial. They are going to completely release their mind from that academic realm, and they are
Mhm.
going to connect to our school in a different realm. And we've
Yeah.
seen some significant success with just student connection and getting back to pre-pandemic connection with our kids since
Mhm.
we've implemented our Fun Fridays, where we're going to do all the things that are not anything to do with school on Friday, just because you need that. We can't consume ourselves with just academics.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, I was interviewing Superintendent Patterson, and they just went Fridays off,
Mhm.
right? And so, man, when you think about, wow, wow, just being able to get that break, that shows, like you said, we can talk about that balance, but look at the priority that we put on you to take out of our school day to give you that time. So then I want you to know that it's important for you to take that time, but by model, by design.
And I'll be very clear, and my teachers will probably tell you I'm a little crazy at
Yeah,
times, but it's okay because crazy sometimes gets things done. And
yeah.
and I love them and they know that. And so I expect my teachers, when you walk in that building, to be on every day. And if you're not, you can go get in your car and you can drive right back home because we don't have too many opportunities. And I believe that tier 1 instruction, that's when the kids are in front of you. We have no time to waste. And so you give me everything. You give the kids everything from the second you walk in the building. And then we're going to take care of you on the back end. We're going to make sure that you also have time to take a breath and get yourself together to have a different type of relationship with the kids on Fridays.
Yeah, most definitely. Building capacity. Now, as we get ready to wrap up and land this plane, I know we talked about giving advice for our last segment when we talked about just building that culture, building that team. When you want to create student leadership, got new principals coming into the game. They're not 7 years in like you, Dr. B. Congratulations. That was so fast. Oh my God. What do you tell those leaders?
So if leaders want to build student leadership, it first has to be replicated through their actions. They have to be present. They have to be visible. And kids can tell when you are real and when you are not, like that. And so when they see that buy-in, when they see that pride, when they see that loyalty coming from the leader, then they might take a step back and say, okay, who is this person? I might want to kind of be like them. See, I'm trying to be a role model for my kids every day. I'm trying to be a role model for my teachers every day. So the leader has this leadership that others want to follow, this leadership style. Then the teachers then want to emulate what they see the leader do and the type of relationship that the leader is able to form with adults and students alike. And then that culture is embedded into the classroom. And then students can then take that culture into everything else that they do. And so it's not just you're just going to walk in and your student leadership and student culture and campus culture is going to be there. That's something that you have to create and be intentional with every word you say, because they are watching you. Kids are watching you and the teachers are watching you. Kids are watching their teachers. They know when you're having a bad hair day. If I don't have my lashes done, they're like, Dr. B, you sick? I'm like, no, I'm not sick. I am not sick, but they notice. So they notice all those rough things, but they also notice all the amazing things that you do. And so just being intentional with everything you say, every move you make, every day, that's what builds the leadership capacity. And they will call you out fraud in a minute if it is not genuine.
Look, when you think about the kids just noticing the little things and questioning, I had a 3-day training. When I got back to work, they said, man, we thought you ain't work here no more. Man, where you been? Man, you need to make sure you come to work. Yes. Wow.
Every morning, when we have study hall, we start our days with study hall. Every morning, I go to every single classroom and say, good morning, y'all. Have a good day. Every morning. When I tell you I was sick last week and I came in a little late and I came on the announcements at the end of the day, the kids were like, we knew something was wrong with you. Where have you been? Because they didn't see the good morning. So everything that you do matters, and it matters significantly in how you're building this culture on your campus every single minute, every single day.
Most definitely, man. Well, I want to say thank you, Dr. B, for dropping them gems on us today. Just so much good knowledge. And I always like to take those clips and making them sound bites to be able to kind of push them back out, because you dropped some gems today. So thank you for coming through and doing that for us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Now what we'll do, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we got rapid fire. So when we get back, now don't think, just react. All right. All right. We'll be right back, Dr. B. Oh man, once again, look, y'all, we got the hoodies. It's It's gonna be cold somewhere, not in Houston, but somewhere. It's gonna get cold down by Amarillo and all that.
That's all right.
Diamond froze a few times. Right, okay. So now get ready for this rapid fire. Let's do it, Dr. B.
Go hard, or go home, go home, go hard, or go home.
Hello, Dr. B. Here we go. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
South Africa.
Whoa, beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Beach.
Hey, take me to the tan, man.
I've got to work on my tan.
Hey.
I'm only there for the tan.
Hey, that's it. Just to chill. All right. What's your favorite book that you've read recently?
Deep Kindness.
Ooh, wait a minute. You got to break that down. Talk to us.
Deep Kindness actually was created by the founders of Character Strong. I didn't know that whenever I was reading it. However, it really just takes you through this idea that kindness is a choice. And we can talk about our personalities are rough or that's just my personality. No. Kindness is a choice. And it really takes you through some scenarios of when we're unkind and we don't even know we're unkind. And so really it's a self-awareness of being kind and what that looks like in different environments. And it is a phenomenal read if you have not read it already.
Deep Kindness recommended right here, Dr. B. That's early bird or night owl?
Night owl. Don't talk to me before about 8.
I need that coffee, man.
AM.
All right. Do you have a hidden talent that not many people know about?
I can play basketball a little bit. I don't think I've ever been beaten horse.
Oh, okay. So see, people know that though. They know, Dr. B. You was a coach.
They better know. The
kid. What'd you say?
I'm undefeated.
Undefeated. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I tried about 2 days ago, and I took an L. So it was kind of rough. Now the kid just asking, man, when you come back, get your get back. Now they torment me in the hallway. So I might have to call you in, Dr. B. Just please check. It may have to go down. All right. Let's see here. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be? Why?
Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Actually, we were fairly close to him prior to his death. However, I would love to just know more about his Mamba mentality and his thinking process and just this idea of greatness.
Yeah, most definitely. Where is the last TV show or movie you binge watched?
I hate to say it. Love is Blind.
Okay. Love is Blind. Oh,
that's embarrassing.
What is it?
So basically, these people get together in pods and they get to know each other without seeing each other. And they actually propose without knowing each other. It's all on personality. They've never seen each other. And so everything that they discuss is as if they know each other or they have physically seen each other, but they have never physically seen each other up until they propose. And then they go on and sometimes the marriage works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's like when you think about old school when coming up, you was doing your dating, you may not see each other because you can't get the hustle out of town, but you got the number though. So y'all talk. And then we had this whole relationship. We went together, broke up. We never even seen each other. Okay, that's throwback. Okay, share a fun fact about yourself.
I am from a town of 1,000 people, and I graduated with 32 students in my class, largest class ever in the history of my hometown, Booker, Texas.
Booker. Woo! I don't know where Booker, Texas is, but shout out to anybody that lives in Booker, Texas. Shout out to all 32 people in that class. Now, if you could instantly master any musical instrument, which one would you choose?
Well, I play the saxophone, the alto saxophone to be specific.
Okay.
However, I mean, that's really the only instrument I would want to play. The clarinet's way too squeaky for me. But if I could play the flute like Lizzo, I guess maybe it would be that. But I love the saxophone. I'm a saxophone girl. So saxophone, which I already know.
Look, but the biggest thing, where my scratch? Look, I had to put that record scratch. Wait a minute. Booker, Texas. You play ball. You played the saxophone. What else was happening coming out of this Booker? It sounded like these 32 people were powerful coming out of here, man. My God.
It's definitely a blessing to have grown up in this town with the type of support that we had and the just ability to take part in everything, right? And just be this beacon in this community is so empowering. And to come back, I'm actually at home now. As you know, I'm in my sister's office. She's the counselor at the high school. And just to be able to say that I'm from here is just a blessing.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, Miss Fanger said it is a good show though. Okay, so we got somebody else who watched Love is Blind too. So
thank you.
All right, now. All right, now thank you for the rapid fire. Those are some questions. Once again, I love talking to people because it kind of takes us out of the education. We would never talked about Love is Blind if it weren't for that piece. But also thinking about that book, Deep Kindness. So just still great tidbits, great information, because the biggest piece I always try to see is sometimes the kids don't humanize us. And so while we do get a chance to talk about the work, it's 10 questions like that just really shows that human side of once I turn off like Dr. B and I go home and I'm mom and I'm wife, I'm watching Love is Blind and I'm binging on it too. Right? So all good, Dr. B. All right, well, thank you. Let's go ahead and what we'll do, take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do our parent-teacher corner. And in the parent-teacher corner, we're going to help parents build strong study habits at the house. All right, so that's good with you?
All right, sounds great.
We'll be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the
Hey, parent-teacher corner, where it is mandatory that you show up at A-Leaf early. So, hey, parent-teacher corner tonight, what we're going to do is talk about 5 steps to help parents build a strong study habits at home. We know how important it is post-pandemic to make sure you're on top of them books, to make sure that you're consistent. Parents did not like to be teachers. I figured that out, right? So then these tips right here will help you just in case for the next time, but also if you're going to let us do the teaching now, this is how you help us at the house. So let's get into it right quick. So first thing is designated study space. So create a quiet and organized space specifically for studying. This helps the students stay focused and separate study time from leisure time. So they can't have the study area right by the Xbox, parents. I don't think that's going to work. What you think, B?
I don't think so. We've got to have a space where they can truly be focused on what the focus is. And if the space is separate, like what you're saying, the work will be done much more expeditiously, and then they can get to that Xbox. So it's the best of both worlds.
Oh, boy, they'd be so anxious to get to that game. Oh, my God. All right. Next one, consistent schedule. So establish a regular study routine. This helps develop discipline and ensures that they allocate enough time for homework and for the parents that's really involved, revisions. Next one, time management. Teach your child how to manage their time effectively. Encourage them to set goals for each study session and use these time management techniques like the Pomodoro method. Okay, you ever heard of that before? That method? But I seen you shaking your head. So what do you think about the time management?
Well, whenever you said set goals, that really struck a chord with me because I feel like so often, even kids and adults alike, we procrastinate. But if we have a goal and we know what that goal is, the second we get home, this is the goal, this is the standard. We're going to do our homework before we do anything else. It really creates the opportunity for students to have a habit of what the expectation is, and not just wonder, hey, I wonder when I'm going to do my homework. No, this is the goal, and it's going to become a habit, and I'm going to manage my time effectively because my time management is driven by my goal.
Yeah. Next one, most definitely. And this one is powerful. Limit distractions. So minimize distractions by turning off the TV, putting away the mobile devices, and keeping the study area clutter-free. Lastly, parental involvement. People, I want to keep that one for the most important. Stay involved and offer support. Ask about the assignments, review the progress, provide assistance when needed. And all of that means you have to be present, you got to be attentive, and you have to be engaged. Anything that I missed on the B's?
I think it's awesome what you said. I would just add that in ALEAF and in almost every other school district in the country, there is the availability of home access. Please sign up for that, because we have so many parents come in with no clue of what their kids' grades are, and that is real time. When the teacher puts the grade in, as a parent, I can see it. Then there's no question of who's telling the truth or who's saying they did their work and didn't. It's right in front of us, and we can have those conversations with our kids about what needs to be done to either continue in excellence, or these are some areas we need to grow.
Ooh, it ain't nothing like knowing them grades before they even get home. Oh my God. Man, when they check, I remember some kids in my boys' club, especially the football players that was playing like the AAU ball. Oh my God, their parents be checking them grades because they want to make sure they can get on the field. And when I tell you anything goes wrong and they cannot get access, oh my God. I remember I spent a few hours making sure this parent could get locked in. I had to call him my ass. It was real out here. But most definitely it's important staying engaged. All right. Well, thank you. That'll do it for that segment. Last piece I want to get into is our outstanding educator spotlight, and then we'll get ready to land this plane. You ready for that?
Ready.
Most definitely. All right. So the outstanding educator spotlight tonight goes to Mrs. Twyla Hines. She's Stafford Early Childhood Center principal. So we're taking this thing to what's the zip code? 77477. We're taking it to the 77477. Shout out to Stafford tonight. Miss Twyla Hines, she was celebrated by Aisha Atkinson, who is the instructional leader and assistant principal. So man, shout out when it's right next door to you. You know you got to be doing something right.
Right.
All right. So Miss Atkinson says she's known for her strong commitments to the advocacy of students and teachers. Mrs. Hines is also known for investing in the development of future leaders of public education, with several teachers and even assistant principals under her administrative leadership rising to new heights within their own careers within the field. But her willingness to support the dreams of others doesn't simply stop at the boundaries of her campus. She allows herself to be accessible and open to anyone who is in need of mentorship, particularly to those on the path of school leadership, and advises several leaders within the greater Houston community. As her assistant administrator, I can not only attest to her authenticity, as I were, as her colleague, but also as a beneficiary to her guidance as I navigate the uncharted waters of my own professional journey. And so I also like to leave, well, you know, Dr. B, you did one, I almost read church tonight. Then I say, hey, she gonna be here. Well, I'll save it for the next time. But she said, I just wish to express my appreciation of Ms. Hines for being a true champion for student equity and for always being such a joy to not only work for, but to grow under as well. I wish everyone was fortunate enough to have a great mentor and principal like you. Very powerful words, man. So big shouts out. Shouts out to Twyla Hines, Stafford Early Childhood Center principal. What you thought about that?
I just feel like that is the epitome of what we want as leaders for those who are leading with us on this same team to feel, right, that we are guiding others onto this path of greatness, and they know it. And they're not afraid to say, man, my mentor is so-and-so, and they are teaching me all the right things and how to become a more effective leader. So awesome. Shout out to them for that amazing work that's being done in the realm of leadership and loving our kids.
Yeah, Dr. B, I seen so much passion in it. I thought you were going to say that my mentor is the, but you didn't say it. No, okay. All right. Well, Dr. B, we're about to land this plane and get out of here for tonight. It's been an hour of fun. I want to say thank you. Any last words before we close it out?
I will tell you my mentor is Hilda Rodriguez. She was the principal at Elsick High School for Don Lewis and myself and many other leaders throughout the district that have seen their campuses thrive. And so just this power of mentorship is real. And as leaders, we need to take ownership for that and make sure that everything we do, like we said earlier, every day is the right thing for our teachers and for our kids so that we can see our educational system grow and thrive.
Man, that's it. Well, thank you. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly. And once again, I look forward to just sharing this with our community, putting it out. Before we go, I want to say shout out to everybody at Hasten 9th Grade Center. I was there doing the podcast this morning. I'll do a replay of that on the channel, but awesome time talking to Dr. Andrews, of course. Like she's been on the podcast maybe like this 32 times or something. I don't know. And Tiffany Thomas, I think this is her second time. So big shouts out to everybody in the Leaf putting it down. Tomorrow, last day of Greek week. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. Gotta go out with a bang. So thank you, Dr. B. Thank you. Tell your sister thank you. But y'all should not be at work at 8 o'clock. But thank y'all so much anyway for getting in.
In the West, up in the East.
Hey, come on now. And we get cold down there. So thank you so much. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Safe travels. All right, y'all. This is KT for KTTV signing out. 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
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 KTTV.